Listen, if you've ever dreamed of doing a real West African road trip, I mean, crossing countries, meeting people, tasting street food, crossing borders, dealing with the border guards who may or may not smile at you, then this video is definitely for you, because today I am breaking down how to travel from Togo to Nigeria by road. I'm breaking it down step by step. No fluff, no filtered Instagram version or even social media version, just real talk and real tips from someone who's been through it. Yes. If you're just coming across my channel for the very first time, my name is Faith Opera and I am a Nigerian-based content creator traveling Africa and then to the world at large. Also, if you'd like to travel from Ghana to Nigeria by road, you check out my first video, then combine into this one. Or maybe just later, I can combine the two and tell you for a stretch how to travel from Ghana to Nigeria by road. But for this video, we're going to be knowing what to expect, the best routes, the costs, the tips, and how to stay safe and comfortable along this way, because it's going to be a long ride. So just get your popcorn ready, get your drinks ready, and enjoy the ride. Now, you know where the real gist is? This isn't about getting from point A to point B. It is about embracing the chaos, the adventure, and everything in between that you experience on this trip. So stay with me. So let's get right into the video. Now, the first thing we're going to be talking about is documents and preparation, which is very vital. Just before you even think of jumping into a car or a bus, let's get your basics started. We're going to be needing a few things, and the first one is obviously a valid passport. A passport that is at least 6 months valid, okay? Not less than 6 months. And please, this is something that I don't know why people do forget, but please, this is a no-brainer, so you should definitely carry your passport along with you. Now, the next thing you need to take along with you is your yellow fever vaccination card. You see, this tiny yellow fever card can mar or mar you. It can actually keep you at the border if you don't have it. So please, if you are doing a West African road trip, please make sure you have your yellow fever vaccination card, because it's going to be your best friend at these West African borders. And you need to check online or make your own research so that you will be able to find out the required vaccinations that you need to get at each of these countries, so that they don't stop you at the border. You get, for example, now at Togo border, crossing from Ghana to Togo, which is their flower border, if you don't have your meningitis vaccine taken and recorded in your yellow fever vaccine card, you will not be allowed to cross. You'll be delayed and asked to pay a fine. So please make sure you check online and know what is the required vaccine that you will be needing to cross each of these countries. Okay? Now, the next thing is visa for Nigeria. Yes. Even if you're just passing through Benin, unless you are an ECOWAS exempt, as in, unless you're a West African and you have the ECOWAS passport, you would need a Nigerian visa. And this Nigerian visa can be gotten at Lome, Togo, at the Nigerian embassy, or at Ghana Nigerian embassy, or any other Nigerian embassy where you find yourself. Okay? If you're in France or Europe or America, just look for a Nigerian embassy there and get the Nigerian visa. Okay? Now, lastly, this is something that may or may not be necessary, or if you are smart, you have to get it, even though it's optional, which is the travel insurance. Please do well to get your travel insurance, but it is not compulsory. Okay? I remember standing at the Benin Nigeria border once, and the guy ahead of me was like, he did not have his vaccination card. You guys, in order to see how he was delayed, and you know the funny thing, after being delayed, he still had to bribe his way through. Please don't be that guy. Just get your stuff together. It will save you a whole lot of stress. A similar thing also happened to me at their flower border, the border between Ghana and Togo. It seemed as if I did not have my yellow fever vaccination card, but I did not get my meningitis vaccine recorded there. So I was delayed and asked to also pay a fine. So depending on the gravity of your own offense, you might tend to like have very, very negative or bad experiences. So you don't want to be that. So please save yourself the stress, okay? Now, let's talk about the route. You are starting from Lome, Togo, and you are heading to Lagos, Nigeria. Or you are starting from Ghana and you are heading to Lagos, Nigeria. Obviously, from Ghana, you have to pass through the first border, which is their flower border between Ghana and Togo. If you saw my last video, I'm going to be tagging into this video. You'll watch how I traveled from Ghana to Togo. So now this is the continuation of going from Lome, Togo to Lagos, Nigeria. Okay? So there are just a few ways to do it, but the most common route looks like this. You're going to go from Lome to Cotonou. Bear in mind that Cotonou is in Benin Republic. So now from Cotonou, you go through the semi-border to Lagos. Lagos is a city in Nigeria, just as Cotonou is a city in Benin Republic, and just as Lome is a city in Togo. I hope we get this explanation correctly. On paper, it looks easy, right? But then, in reality, it's a little wild, in the best way anyways, because you can have an overlay time of around 6 to 8 hours total, depending on traffic, border delays, or even your transportation method. You'll be crossing 2 international borders, so patience is actually key. But honestly speaking, that's what makes the journey very interesting and fun. You'll meet people, you'll hear stories, you get a taste of the real West Africa. It is not my way. Yes, so you enjoy your stay. Next on, we'll be talking about the border crossing experience. Now, let me paint a picture for you. Imagine we're in a minibus, and maybe you are close to a mother that has a baby right next to you, or someone selling banana through the window. Buy my banana, and then you hit the Togo Benin border. Then later, the big one, which is the semi border into Nigeria. I'm just giving you an animated, scenario. Might not be too comfortable, but it's an interesting experience anyways. Now, let's talk about tips. You see these tips? Trust me, you will thank me later for these tips. So you definitely want to stay tuned, okay? First and foremost, please have cash. I mean, have cash in small denominations like in CFA and in Naira. Bear in mind that the 2 French countries you're going to be crossing through, which is Togo and Benin Republic, make use of the franc CFA, while Nigeria makes use of Naira. Okay? Ghana alone makes use of cedis. So crossing from Lome through Benin Republic to Nigeria, you will need small denominations in CFA and also in Naira. Secondly, please be respectful. Please be respectful. Greet the officers properly. Just a little bonjour or good afternoon, sir, goes a very long way. Next, please don't argue. Don't argue. Even if you are being ridiculed, or I don't mean it in wrongest way, but I mean there are some times that you might be ridiculously charged for crossing. Don't argue too much. Just tell them to explain to you the reason why you are paying such a ridiculous amount, and you will explain to, for example, the first time I was crossing the border by land, I was told to pay 5,000 CFA at the Togo border. And I was asking why. Why would I pay 5,000 CFA? And I just saw someone now cross and pay 2,000 CFA. They were like, because it's still a virgin passport. I was like, okay, sorry, sir. What do you mean that it's still virgin? Meaning, how did I come here if it's still virgin? Sorry, how did I come to Ghana? I'm going out of Ghana. I tell me my passport is still virgin. They mean that if you have not crossed by land, whether you have crossed by sea, whether you have crossed by air, as far as you have not crossed that place, that particular border before, you have to pay the newbie fee. Do you get? So, when I traveled, it was 5,000 CFA crossing for the first time. So please don't argue. Just try to get clarification, even if sometimes it can be annoying. Next, please be at alert. Keep your documents in sight. Check on your bags if you're taking public transportation. Okay? Now, let me tell you a little bit of story or experience that I once had with an officer. He asked me what was my maiden name, and I'm like, I don't understand. But immediately it got to me that, this officer actually wanted to see whether I'll get, flustered, or he wanted my reaction. But then I just had to smile at him and I just gave him the answer. And we moved on because they might ask you some, I don't want to use a bad term here, but they might ask you some questions that might get on your nerves, but you just have to play the part and remember that it's just all part of the game of crossing the border, okay? All right. Next, we're going to talk about the transportation options. Now, I'm going to break this down clearly for you. Let's talk about how you are going to get there. You have 3 options: public, private, or self-drive. Now, firstly, we'll talk about public transportation. We all know that public transportation is budget friendly. It is very authentic in the sense that you'll be sharing these taxis or minibuses from Lome to Cotonou, then to Lagos with people, different people. I don't want to call them strangers, but you will share it with different people. Okay? And now, regularly it costs around 3,000 to 10,000 sefa if you are going to break the trip, depending on how you want to break the trip. On this journey, if you noticed, we broke our trip. We took a cab from opposite the market, like, should I say opposite or longitudinal to the market? And that part is just close to the beach, beside the beach actually, the Lome beach, and you see a lot of cabs there too. I don't know whether to call them cabs. I don't know if cabs is the right word for them, but yeah, you see a lot of vehicles loading to Nigeria, or they will just say semi-border. Semi-border means that's the Nigerian border. So when you get semi-border, you can still get taxis to move from there, okay? That's if you're not taking all these registered buses, okay? So if you just want to like go the cheaper routes, you just have to go to just close to the beach side, close to the market, and then you see cars loading to Seme, then you enter a direct car to Seme, okay? So now, see, I want to give you a real talk. Let me tell you, you'll be squeezed. You will not be comfortable here, but the thing is that it is cheap and local. But honestly speaking, that is where the best stories happen, because sometimes it's not about luxury. They say it's out of your comfort zone that you actually experience adventure. Okay? Yeah. Now let's talk about private taxi. You know that private taxi is actually very comfortable and now it's flexible but more expensive. But yeah, you can get a private taxi arranged for you at Lome to take you to the Seme border or to Nigeria. It costs around 40 to 70,000 sefa, and this one is actually very perfect if you just want peace, you don't want surprises, because you might meet surprises on the road with public transportation. For example, we were actually going to Seme. This car told us that they were going to Seme border, right? But tell me why you got to Benin Republic and offered to drop me at a park for me to find my way to Seme border. And this was my first time flying from Lome to Nigeria by road. I've been to Cotonou before, I've been to Benin Republic before, I went by sea, but now I'm going by road and you're dropping me at a point that I did not know. If not for the Nigerian in me that just had to tell the driver, sir, please, respectfully, this isn't what we agreed. You have to find a way for me to get to Seme border, and I need to get to Seme border on time. Then he looked for a way and then swapped us, put us in another vehicle, and obviously he paid because I already paid it for the full trip, and you not taking me completely there wasn't our agreement, so I wasn't going to agree for that. So at the end of the day, we got to Seme border. That's just the summary of the whole situation. So now, thirdly, we're talking about going by your own car. Now, this is actually very adventurous, but you need an ECOWAS brand card. Now, this ECOWAS brand card is the original insurance for your car, because trust me, you'll be stopped multiple times on the road. You'll be stopped and you'll be searched. That's just it. You'll be asked for road taxis, and you just pay tax at random points of the road. So a friend of mine once told me about his experience where he drove through this route and got stopped over 8 times before he even got to Lagos. Some of all these officials that stopped him wanted to see his fire extinguisher. If you're in Nigeria and you already relate to this thing I'm saying, or just one thing or the other, and he did not even know that it was 18. But we Nigerians, we already know what it was, so yeah, those kind of things don't surprise us at all. Anyways, let's now talk about arrival into Nigeria. Once you cross into Nigeria, welcome to the magic and madness of Lagos. Yes, the vibe will actually instantly change. You would see that the traffic is wilder, the energy is louder, the music too is louder, which can be unreal. But then I'm going to give you a few tips for your new arrival. First and foremost, please use Bolt or Uber to get to your final stop. It might be expensive, but it is safer for you. At least on the Bolt app or the Uber, you get to see the vehicle's plate number and know the exact vehicle when it comes to pick you, to avoid story that touches the heart. Okay? Don't just jump into random cabs like that at the border. Next thing you need to do is to change your money, but please change your money at a proper bureau de change or with someone trustworthy. Okay? Lagos traffic is no joke at all. So you just have to plan your arrival time carefully. Don't arrive Lagos late, please, for your own sake. If you are heading to places like Ikeja or VI, places on the island, please budget another 2 to 3 hours separate from when you leave the same border. Depending on traffic, Lagos doesn't actually care about your schedule. So please carefully plan your trip, okay? Now, we're going to talk about safety. We're going to talk about culture and now the final tips. Let's talk safety and vibe first. Nigeria gets a very bad rap sometimes, but if you stay smart, it can actually be an amazing place to explore. I am not kidding you. Nigeria is warm. Ask people that are not Nigerians that have visited Nigeria, and I'm sure they'll tell you their experiences, because it just gets negative comments just from what the media shows, which is not exactly what it is in Nigeria. So please visit Nigeria so you see for yourself. Okay? Now let's talk about quick safety tips. Firstly, please don't flash cash. Do not flash cash. Be very careful. Let your cash be in your pocket. Let your cash be in your bag. Do not bring out bundles of money and show that you have dollar or whatever currency that you're holding. Okay? Please don't let people target you. The wrong people might target you if they see those kind of things. Secondly, please keep your phone close. Hold your phone very tight or put it in your bag and hold your bag very, very well. Okay? Avoid night travel. I've said this before. Next, make sure you stay connected, stay hydrated. Make sure you have a power bank with you. And always trust your guts. If your gut says, don't enter this taxi, please don't enter the taxi. Okay? Now, most people you meet will be very kind. Most people you meet will be curious. Most people you meet may be a little bit surprised that you are doing this trip, and they'll be like, sorry, you say you're Kenyan and you are visiting Nigeria because you're on a West African road trip. It's usually very surprising to them. But yeah, it's in this small moment that you actually, see the joy of this traveling, and you enjoy connections and make beautiful stories. Okay? So now, that is it for my Togo to Nigeria by road trip. Now, this is not just a journey, but it is also an experience. This trip teaches one patience. It gives you stories, remind you that adventure is everywhere and in every moment, and even in the traffic. Yes, it's an adventure. Even at the borders, crossing, paying those money, it's an adventure. Yeah, because you actually will get stories from that. Okay? Now, if you're planning this trip, drop your questions in the comments. I would love to help. And if you've done it before, please share your experience. Don't forget to like this video, share to someone you know who enjoyed the video. Don't forget to also subscribe. Turn on the bell by the side of the subscribe button so you are alerted anytime I post a new video. And until I come your way again next time, please never you miss an adventure. Okay? Anyways, stay safe, travel far, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye for now.